what I like to do at the end of all the visits is, if you got time, just a bit of time, just to go through a couple of things that I found.
That's fine.
Like I said, it's never a comfortable thing having SEPA on the farm, but the idea of today is to come up with a plan to go, how about there are a couple of issues that I found on your farm, but what I'd like to do is basically identify what those are, tell you why they're a problem, and then come up with a solution together about how we go about fixing it.
Nothing too serious?
Nothing too serious. Like I said, these diffuse pollution general binding rules, they cover quite small activities, so they can be fixed quite easily, and there are quite a lot of technical notes and quite a lot of good practice and that kind of stuff that's already out there, which you can point people in a direction to. So, but when I was wandering around the fields, just down here, you got quite a large watercourse going through a number of your fields, which you've got livestock in. Quite a lot of the area there is open access for the livestock to get access to water. And what we're noticing is, and one of the big issues when it comes to livestock farms is open access to water. We're not completely banning waterings from livestock. We're not saying everything has to be fenced off, but what we're looking at is significant poaching. So that's when you've got active erosion because of the activities of livestock, so cows going down to the burn and basically causing poaching, and soil and sediments and that kind of stuff getting into the watercourse. And we're finding that in just a couple of spots on this field here. It'd be great if we could come up with maybe a way forward on this kind of thing.
What would you suggest for rectifying that areas?
There's quite a few things you can do. I mean, we've noticed that the adjacent field is already fenced off, and you've got access to a water trough just here already. So I'm just wondering, is there any possibility of you potentially fencing that area off and then taking a feed from that water trough into that field? Could that be a possibility?
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Yeah. So I mean, what I'll do, I'll make a few notes of a few possibilities, and whichever you basically then can take this away when you'll get a letter in a week or so's time with a list of options.
Yeah.
So I'll put that down as an option, but I'll also give information about things like alternative waterings. So things like pasture pumps, have you heard of those? The kind of nose pumps.
Yeah, the nose pump.
Solar powered pumps as well. Some people are finding those are being quite successful. And also things like ram pumps, which is the old pressure-based system, which is a way of feeding a probably higher number of livestock than you've got here. But that's the first option we'll go for is that one, because it's something that's already potentially in place. When it comes to a time frame for that, we're looking at some kind of activity being taken on that within the next 12 months or so.
Okay.
And if you've got any questions, or before you want to install something, before you make that final decision, if you want to give us a ring, you can do. That's fine. Yeah, we're more than happy for that. We have another issue here just relating to one of your spring barley fields here. Cultivation there, you were with it, you had the 2 metre buffer strip there, but it's just one of those things just to make sure that your lads and your contractors, whoever is doing the ploughing or the cultivation in those fields, just to make sure that 2 metre is kept back.
Okay.
And there's a little bit of area here which is quite a steep slope, and it looks like you've been applying what looks like farmyard manure onto that field. Just as a reminder, just to make sure you're keeping that 10 metres back from the top of the bank. Where you've got quite steep slopes, what we're looking for, people, is just to increase that distance a little bit more to something that you think might be worthwhile. And that's it really. So those ones are just advisory issues relating to your cultivation and your spreading, and basically you'll receive a letter in about 7 to 10 days, and on there you'll have a map and you'll have a table, and basically on that table will be a little bit about the fact that you've got a bit of livestock poaching there. We've come to the agreement that you're going to have a look at either installing a trough or some other alternative watering. You're going to look at fencing that area off, and we'll be back in 12 months time just to see how you're going on. We'll give you advance notice of our visit again in 12 months time. But in the meantime, if you do that work, if you've got any questions about it, if you've got any questions generally about diffuse pollution or environmental protection and that kind of stuff, if you want to give us a ring, you've got my phone number.
Yeah.
I'm available to come out and have a chat with you if you need be. And hopefully that's a way of starting a working relationship with SEPA, which is going to be quite productive.
Okay.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you.
I'll see you again soon. Cheers.